The council questioned Earth's worth. She tilted her head and the room went silent. HFY Sci-Fi. The Hall of Judgment floated in open space, like a stone thought given shape. It was wide, deep, and cold, with curved walls that reflected soft white light. The ceiling showed a slow map of stars, moving as if the universe itself watched the meeting. Rows of seats rose in circles, each made for a different kind of body. Some seats were tall and narrow, some were low and wide, some hovered without touching the floor. The air carried many smells and none at all, depending on who breathed it. At the center stood a single human woman. She wore a plain dark suit, no medals, no symbols. Her hands rested at her sides. She did not look up at the ceiling of stars. She did not bow. She waited. Around her sat the council, a gathering older than many suns. Their members came from worlds with deep oceans, burning deserts, endless forests, and metal cities that wrapped entire planets. They had ended wars between stars. They had erased civilizations when needed. Today, they judged Earth. A low voice rolled across the hall. It came from a tall figure whose skin looked like smooth stone. Its eyes glowed faint blue. "Earth stands accused of instability," the voice said. "Violence, reckless growth, dangerous curiosity. Dea." The words echoed. Other voices joined, one by one. "Humans fight among themselves. They poison their world. They spread without control. They reach for space before they understand peace." Each charge struck the air like a slow hammer. The woman did not move. From a seat high above, a thin being with many small eyes leaned forward. Its voice was sharp and fast. "We have seen this pattern before. Young species burn bright, then burn out. They leave ruins and noise. Why should Earth be spared?" A murmur spread through the hall. Many agreed. Some watched in silence. The woman shifted her weight slightly. She did not speak. The stone-skinned leader raised one long arm. The hall quieted. Earth was invited to answer one question, it said. Does humanity have worth beyond its planet? The question hung in the air. The woman lifted her head. She did not rush. She did not show fear. She looked at the nearest council member, then the next, then slowly turned in a full circle. Her eyes were steady, curious even. Then she tilted her head. It was a small movement, almost nothing. But the room went silent. Some council members felt it before they understood why. The gesture was not defiance. It was not confusion. It was something else, as if the question itself was strange. The stone-skinned leader narrowed its glowing eyes. "Speak," it said. The woman took a breath. She spoke in a calm voice, clear and simple. "Humans are flawed," she said.
"We fight, we fail.
"We make terrible choices." Several council members leaned back, already bored. She continued, "We are not the strongest. We are not the oldest. We are not the most united." A faint sound of approval passed through the hall. The woman paused, then went on. "But we are still here." The thin being, with many eyes, clicked softly. "That is not rare," it said. The woman looked at it directly. "It is," she replied, "in the places we came from." A few council members shifted. The leader gestured for silence. "Explain," it said. The woman nodded once. "Earth did not grow in peace," she said. "It grew under pressure. Storms, quakes, disease, hunger, predators, our own mistakes." She took a step forward. The The floor responded with a soft light under her foot. Every time we fell, she said, we learned. Slowly, painfully. A council member shaped like flowing mist spoke, its voice deep and slow. Many species learn, it said. Learning does not make you worthy. The woman did not argue. No, she said. Enduring does. The hall stirred. She raised her hand slightly, not to command, but to ask for patience. You see our wars, she said.
You see our scars, but you do not see what tested us when no one was watching.
The stone-skinned leader leaned forward. Be careful, it warned. The woman met its gaze. We are, she said. Always. A ripple of unease moved through the seats. The woman continued. Before we reached your stars, we listened. We sent small machines into the dark. Some never returned. Some came back broken. Some sent signals that made no sense. She paused. We kept going. The thin being laughed softly. Curiosity alone is not virtue, it said. The woman nodded. Agreed. She lifted a small device from her wrist. It was simple, worn, and unremarkable. She did not activate it yet. We learned that space is not empty, she said. It watches. It waits. Several council members stiffened. The leader spoke sharply.
You claim knowledge of forces beyond council record? The woman answered honestly.
We claim experience. A long silence followed. From a distant seat, a heavy figure with layered armor spoke. Earth has no seat in this council, it said.
No alliances. No guardians.
The woman looked toward it. That was by choice, she said. Murmurs rose. Explain that, the leader said. The woman's voice remained even. When something hunts you, she said, you learn not to shout. The hall grew colder. The ceiling stars seemed to dim. The leader's voice lowered. Choose your next words carefully. The woman took another breath. Humanity learned early that help does not always come, she said. So we learned to help ourselves. She finally activated the device. A soft image appeared above her hand. It showed a small human ship, torn open, drifting near a red star. No bodies, just silence. Some council members looked away. This was our first deep probe, she said. It stopped responding. The image changed. Another ship, then another. Dowl and Dow, a Dowl and Dow, different places, same end. The thin being waved a limb. Loss is common, it said. The woman nodded again. Yes, the image shifted once more. This time, the stars around the ship were wrong. Bent, darkened, damned, as if something blocked them. A sharp sound echoed from one of the older council members. That pattern, it said quietly. The woman lowered her hand. The image stayed. We did not know what it was, she said, only that it watched us back. The leader stood. You are implying a threat recognized by the council, it said. The woman did not deny it. We are implying we survived it, she said. The hall erupted in noise. Impossible, some said. Lies, others hissed. The leader struck the floor with its arm. Silence returned, strained and thin. You will be judged for false claims, it said. The woman's eyes did not leave it. Then judge us, she said. She straightened, small and steady in the vast hall. But judge us for what we endured, not for what we look like. The ceiling stars flickered. Somewhere deep in the council systems, alarms began to wake. No one noticed yet. The woman lowered her head slightly, not in submission, but in resolve. The question of Earth's worth had been asked. The answer had only begun. The hall remained silent after the human woman finished speaking. The council members whispered among themselves, their voices low and tense. Some stared at her with disbelief. Others leaned closer, curious now in a way they had not expected. The woman did not wait for them to speak. She stepped forward, her movements calm, deliberate, showing no fear of the giants around her. "We are not proud," she said. "Humans know our flaws. We fight each other. We make mistakes. We harm our world. We often fail." Some members smiled, thinking they had predicted her response. But she did not stop there. She raised her hands slightly, palms open, as if offering the truth for them to take or leave. "We do not claim to be the strongest. We do not claim to be the smartest. We do not even claim to be wise. We claim only to survive. We endure. We adapt." The room stirred. A member with scales like liquid metal clicked its tongue. "Adaptation is common," it said. "Survival alone does not prove worth." The woman nodded. "Agreed," she said. "Survival alone is not enough, but surviving against what the galaxy hides, against what watches and waits, that shows something more." She activated the small device on her wrist. A holographic image appeared above it, small at first, then expanding to fill the space in front of the council. Ships were drifting silently, broken, twisted by forces the council could recognize but could not name. Some had no crew. Some had recordings that showed nothing but static and faint echoes of unknown energy. "We called them probes," she said. "Our first attempts to reach the stars. Some disappeared. Hot. Pot. Some returned broken. Some sent messages we could not read. And we kept sending more." The council members shifted uneasily. From high above, the thin being with many eyes whispered something to itself. "The patterns," it said. "The dark marks around the stars. Rare. Almost never seen." The woman's voice continued, steady and soft. "We did not know what watched us. We did not know its intentions. We only knew it was there. It waited. It tested. And we survived." A council historian, old beyond years, spoke in a voice that rumbled through the hall. "The human claims are dangerous," it said. "Many species vanished after such tests. Why would Earth be different?" The woman tilted her head slightly, not in fear but in thought. She answered honestly, "We do not know why. We only know that we did not disappear." That alone is proof that something in our nature matters. From a distant seat, a member with glowing crystal wings leaned forward. "If you do not know why," it said, "how can we trust your judgment of worth?" The woman smiled faintly.
"We do not ask for trust," she said. "Only understanding."
"Look at the records. Look at what our world endured. Famine, storms, disease, fire, and our own wars. Yet we rebuild. Every time, slowly, painfully. We learn each time." Several council members leaned closer, silent now, listening. Even those who had dismissed her before felt unease. Her words were not prideful. They were simple truth, and truth in the council was dangerous. The stone-skinned leader's glowing eyes narrowed. "Enough," it said. "What is this hidden threat you imply? Speak clearly or we will dismiss your claims." The woman did not flinch. She projected another image. This one showed not human ships alone, but stars bent in strange ways, light curving where it should not, Shadows moved against logic, patterns that no council record could explain. Something had been testing humanity quietly. Something ancient, the thin-eyed being whispered again. Impossible. These are not common trials. We do not name it, the woman said. It has no name we know. But it came to our world. It tested us silently. And it left. For the first time in history, it moved away from a species without destroying it. A council member with metal limbs hissed, "That cannot be. Never has the Watcher spared a young species. Not one. How did Earth survive?" The woman's gaze swept across them. "We survived because we are human," she said. "We do not wait for help. We do not give up. We endure. We rebuild. We adapt. And we do not kneel." Some members shifted uncomfortably. Their past decisions and failed tests whispered in their memories. They had not considered the possibility that a species could survive a test that should have ended them. The leader slammed its arm against the floor. "Enough!" it demanded. "You speak of unknown forces. You claim survival, but what proof exists that humanity is anything more than lucky?" The woman's voice remained calm, soft, but firm. "We are not lucky. We do not claim perfection. We claim persistence. And sometimes, persistence is the only measure of worth the universe understands." A ripple of tension moved across the hall. Some council members had already begun recalling records of species lost to the Watcher. None had shown the resilience of humans. None had endured repeated tests without surrendering. A few seats away, a member with flowing vapor-like skin said quietly, "You imply that humanity is ready for what comes next." The woman's eyes did not leave the projection of the stars. "Perhaps," she said. "Perhaps not. But we will face it as we have faced everything. Together, as a species. Alone if we must," the council murmured. Some debated quietly. Some tried to dismiss her claims. Others began to feel a small, creeping fear. This human, small and alone, had just shown them that Earth was not the weak, reckless world they assumed. The stone-skinned leader's voice cut through the murmurs. "We will judge you," it said. "But know this, if your claims are false, humanity will face consequences the Council does not forget." The woman nodded. "We understand," she said. "But do not judge us by appearances, or by our flaws. Judge us by what we endure." The holograms faded, leaving only the calm figure of the human woman in the center. She stood small among the giants, but something in her presence demanded attention. It was quiet power, not of weaponry or authority, but of truth. The hall was silent for a long moment. The council considered her words. Some were unsure. Some feared the implications. Others were curious. None had expected this. Then the leader spoke again. "Prepare yourself, human," it said. "Your trial is not complete. More questions will come. The council will decide your worth." The woman did not flinch. She straightened her shoulders. "We are ready," she said. As she turned, the hall seemed to hold its breath. The stars above reflected the tension, moving slowly as if even the universe watched this moment closely. Somewhere deep within the council, fear began to stir. Not of humans' weapons or strength, but of their persistence, their endurance, and the quiet, stubborn way they survived. The part ended with the council realizing that judging Earth would not be simple. The small human woman had done what no one expected. She had revealed a truth the galaxy had ignored. Sometimes, worth is measured not by power, but by the courage to endure and the refusal to vanish. The human woman stood in the center of the council hall as whispers faded to uneasy silence. The council members stared at her, unsure if they faced courage, luck, or something they had never encountered before. The stone-skinned leader's eyes glowed faintly, reflecting doubt that had not existed a moment earlier. The woman raised her hand slowly and activated the device again. A new image appeared above her wrist, larger this time, showing maps of stars with dark regions she had marked. The council shifted as they recognized the signs: empty zones where fleets had vanished, stars surrounded by strange gravitational distortions, signals that twisted and ended without explanation. "We call these regions danger zones," she said. "Humans explored them. Some ships never returned. Some returned broken. Some came back with recordings that no one could understand." A council member with layered plates of armor clicked in disbelief. "These are known areas," it said. "Many species that entered did not survive. Yet Earth sent ships repeatedly?" The woman nodded. "Each time," she said, "we learned. Even the losses were lessons. We did not conquer the dangers. We endured them. We studied them.
We adapted." The fin-eyed being leaned forward, its many eyes narrowing.
"You suggest that humans survived something most races could not," it said. "We did," she said calmly. "We are still learning what it was. But we are here." From a high seat, a member shaped like flowing water murmured, "Why did it spare you? No species has ever endured the trials fully intact." The woman looked straight at the council. "We do not know," she said. "Perhaps because we were small. Perhaps because we never asked for help. Perhaps because we never surrendered. That is all we can say." A deep murmur spread. Some council members whispered to one another, recalling long-forgotten records of species erased by similar trials. None had stood. None had endured. The woman stepped forward again. Each movement was calm, deliberate, showing no fear of the towering council members. "Our wars," she said, "our disasters, our mistakes, they are visible. But the silent tests, the threats no one else notices, those are where we prove ourselves. Humanity did not beg. Humanity did not hide. Humanity endured." The stone-skinned leader's voice echoed across the hall. "Enough talk. If these claims are true, you offer no evidence that humans are prepared for what comes next." The woman's gaze did not waver. She pressed the device, and a new series of images appeared. They showed ships being watched by something unseen. Shadows bent light around them. Energy patterns twisted the stars. The council members leaned in, some recognizing the signature. Some feared the implication. "We call it the Watcher," she said. "It does not show its face. It does not speak. It tests. Many species have disappeared under its gaze. Humanity faced it and did not vanish." A council member with crystalline skin hissed softly. "That is impossible," it said. "Never has a species survived a direct encounter." The woman's voice remained calm. "Perhaps it did not expect us," she said. "Perhaps it did not anticipate our persistence. Perhaps we are unique." From a distant seat, a figure with long, flowing tendrils spoke quietly. "Unique, yes. But dangerous," it added. "If this Watcher returns, and humanity is at the center, what then?" The woman's eyes narrowed slightly. Then she said, "Humanity will face it, as we always have, together. Alone if we must. We do not run. We do not beg. We endure." The council murmured. Some tried to argue. Others were silent, realizing that this human spoke not with pride, but with quiet certainty. Her words did not demand trust. They demanded attention. The thin-eyed being clicked its eyes, uneasy. "You imply humanity is ready for what the galaxy hides," it said. "That is a claim few can make." The woman's gaze swept the room. "Perhaps," she said. "Perhaps not, but we are willing to learn. We are willing to endure, and we will not vanish." The leader stood, its arms striking the floor to silence the murmurs. "Enough," it said. "Your claims are noted. The Council will consider your words. But understand this: if humanity is unworthy, the consequences will be swift." The woman lowered her head slightly, not in fear, but in resolve. "We understand," she said simply. The Council remained tense. The images faded, leaving only the human woman in the center. Her presence seemed small among the giants, yet impossible to ignore. Some council members felt unease, others curiosity. None had expected this. The stone-skinned leader spoke last. "Prepare yourself, human," it said. "The council's questions are not complete. Your worth will be judged." The woman straightened, shoulders firm, eyes calm. "We are ready," she said. Outside the hall, deep in the council systems, alarms began to stir. The signals from the Watcher had grown stronger. No council member had noticed yet. They were distracted by the human's words, unaware that a real test had already begun. The part ended with the council realizing too late that judging Earth would not be simple. The human woman had done what no one expected. She had revealed that survival, endurance, and quiet strength could be a power greater than fleets or weapons. The galaxy had a new variable to consider, and for the first time the Council wondered if Earth had always been underestimated. The Council Hall no longer felt calm. The quiet that followed the human woman's words was heavy, filled with thoughts no one wanted to speak aloud. Some council members leaned back, disturbed. Others leaned forward, alert, their old certainty shaken. The stone-skinned leader remained standing. Its glowing eyes moved slowly across the council, measuring reactions. It had seen fear before. It recognized it now. The human woman waited. She did not speak. She did not move. She simply stood, as if patience itself were a shield. A council member with layered armor broke the silence. "If what you claim is true," it said, "then humanity carries knowledge of a threat older than most council records. Why was this not shared?" The woman answered without hesitation. "Because we were not asked," she said, "and because shouting into the dark only tells the hunter where you are." A ripple of discomfort spread. Another council member, tall and thin with skin like pale glass, spoke sharply. "That answer suggests secrecy. Secrecy breeds danger." The woman nodded. "So does ignorance," she replied. The council murmured again. The debate had shifted. This was no longer about whether humans were violent or reckless. It was about whether they were dangerous in a way the council did not control. The stone-skinned leader raised its arm. The hall quieted. "Earth has no right to withhold information that may threaten the galaxy," it said. The woman looked directly at it. "Earth has no right to trust blindly," she said. Humanity learned that lesson early. Several members stiffened. "Explain," the leader demanded. The woman took a slow breath. "Our history taught us that help often comes late," she said. "Promises fail. Allies break. Survival becomes personal. So we learned to prepare alone." A member made of flowing mist whispered, "That sounds like fear." The woman shook her head slightly. "It is responsibility," she said. The hall grew colder. The stone-skinned leader spoke again, more carefully now. If the Watcher returns, it said, Earth may become the center of a disaster that spreads beyond your system. The woman did not deny it. That is possible, she said. Gasps echoed softly. Then why should the council allow Earth to remain free? A crystalline-winged member asked. Why not contain you? The woman's eyes hardened for the first time. Because cages make prey panic, she said, and panic prey does not survive. The council fell silent. The woman continued, her voice steady but stronger now. Humanity does not thrive under control. We adapt, but we also resist. If you cage us, you will not gain safety. You will gain chaos. The leader studied her. You speak boldly for a species with limited power, it said. The woman met its gaze. Power is not always loud, she said. A low sound passed through the hall. Agreement, fear, curiosity. A council member with many jointed limbs leaned forward. You imply that humans are already preparing for the Watcher's return. The woman nodded once. Yes. How? A member demanded. We study patterns, she said. We build systems that fail safely. We train ourselves to lose and rebuild. We do not depend on single solutions. Several council members exchanged looks. Many advanced races relied on perfection, on systems that could not fail. Humanity's approach sounded crude, and yet effective. The stone-skinned leader narrowed its eyes.
You prepare for loss, it said, not victory.
The woman allowed a small smile. Loss is honest, she said. Victory is temporary, the council murmured again, louder this time. Another member spoke, voice trembling slightly. If humanity survives the Watcher again, it said, what then? The woman answered simply, then we keep living. The simplicity of the answer unsettled them. The leader paced a step forward.
And if you fail, then we fall, she said.
But we will fall standing. Silence followed. Long, heavy. For the first time, the council began to realize that Earth's danger was not aggression. It was resilience. Humans did not need dominance to change the galaxy. They needed time. The stone-skinned leader finally spoke. The council will debate Earth's status, it said. Some believe containment is safest. Others believe alliance may be wiser. The woman listened, unreadable. A sudden faint hum passed through the hall. Lights flickered once, barely noticeable. A few council members looked around, confused. The woman noticed. She lifted her head slightly, eyes narrowing. That signal, she said quietly. You feel it too? The leader froze.
What signal?
The woman looked up at the moving stars above. It is closer than before, she said. The Watcher is adjusting. Several council members stood in alarm. Systems began to whisper warnings across the hall. Impossible, the thin-eyed being muttered. The woman's voice remained calm. It is early, she said. Earlier than expected. The leader turned sharply. You withheld this? No, she replied. We only confirmed it moments ago. The hall erupted in noise. Fear rippled through the ancient council. This was no longer theory, no longer debate. The woman took a step back, giving them space. Humanity will face it, she said, with you or without you. The stone-skinned leader stared at her. You would stand alone? The woman nodded. We already have. Silence fell again. thicker than before. The council understood now. Earth was not asking for permission. Earth was offering a choice. The light stabilized, the alarms quieted, but unease remained. The leader spoke at last, voice low. "This council has underestimated you, human." The woman did not smile. "Many have," she said. The hall seemed smaller now, the walls closer, the stars heavier. The question of Earth's worth had changed. It was no longer whether humanity deserved to exist freely. It was whether the galaxy could afford to stand without them. And somewhere beyond the stars, something ancient listened. The council hall buzzed with low voices, sharp clicks, and nervous movements. What had once been a place of absolute control now felt uncertain. The ancient members argued in tones that betrayed fear they had not felt in ages. The human woman stood apart, watching, listening, allowing them to reveal themselves. The stone-skinned leader raised its arm again, but the room did not quiet at once. It took several strikes against the floor before silence returned. "The situation has changed," the leader said. "A potential galaxy-level threat alters all judgment." The woman inclined her head slightly. "We understand," she said. A tall council member with skin like dark crystal spoke quickly. "If Earth is the focus of this watcher, then Earth must be controlled, contained, isolated." Others agreed. Others agreed. "Containment ensures safety," one said. Another voice added, "We cannot risk another extinction wave." The woman listened without interruption. When the voices faded, she spoke calmly. "Control does not equal safety," she said. "It only creates the illusion of it." The crystal-skinned member turned sharply. "Easy to say when your world is not responsible for billions of lives across the stars." The woman met its gaze. "Humanity has carried that weight alone for a long time," she said.
We are responsible for our own billions every day, the council shifted again.
Some bristled at the implication. Others understood. The stone-skinned leader studied her. "You speak as if the council has no authority over Earth?" The woman answered honestly, "You have authority to judge," she said. "Not to own." A sharp intake of breath echoed through the hall. "You would defy the council?" the leader asked. The woman did not raise her voice. "Humanity will not kneel," she said. "Not because we are arrogant, because survival taught us that bending too far breaks us." The hall fell quiet. A member with flowing vapor-like form whispered, "If you refuse control, then what do you offer?" The woman took a slow breath. "Cooperation," she said. "Shared knowledge, shared warning, shared defense, but choice must remain." Several members leaned forward. The leader narrowed its glowing eyes.
"You ask much from a council that barely knows your kind." The woman nodded.
"We know," she said. "That is why this is an offer, not a demand." A low murmur spread. This was unexpected. Earth was not begging for protection. Earth was offering partnership. The crystal-winged member spoke again, voice strained. "And if we refuse?" The woman's answer was simple. "Then humanity stands alone," she said, "as we always have." The words landed heavily. Some council members recoiled. Others felt a strange respect. The stone-skinned leader turned away briefly, conferring with others through silent signals. The debate was fierce. Some believed Earth was too dangerous to leave free. Others believed that controlling such a species could create greater disaster. The woman waited. Minutes passed. Then alarms rang softly through the hall. Not loud, not urgent, but enough to draw attention. The leader turned sharply. Report. A voice answered from the hall systems. Long-range sensors confirm anomaly acceleration. The watcher signal has increased velocity. The room erupted. Impossible, several members said. Too soon, others hissed. The woman closed her eyes briefly, then opened them. It is adapting, she said. It always does. The leader faced her. You knew this could happen. We prepared for it, she replied. How? Demanded the armored member. By refusing to build a single point of failure, the woman said. By teaching ourselves that loss is part of survival. By preparing to fight, flee, rebuild, and fight again. The council struggled with the idea. Many advanced races relied on perfect systems. Humanity relied on resilience. The leaders spoke slowly. If we side with Earth, we share your fate. The woman nodded. Yes, if we do not, the leader continued, you may draw the Watcher to us anyway. The woman did not argue. That is also possible, she said. Silence. Then a council member no one expected spoke. An old one. Quiet. Its form barely moved as it addressed the hall. Long ago, it said, we believed strength meant control. Then we learned too late that survival means adaptation. The hall listened. This human speaks truth, the old member continued. Not comfort, not safety, truth. The leader turned toward it. You support alliance? The old member paused. I support choice, it said. Earth should not be forced. Forced allies break. The woman watched, saying nothing. We cannot cage them, it said. They will resist. And resistance may trigger what we fear. More voices joined. Slowly, the balance shifted. The leader raised its arm again. Enough! The council will decide. The lights dimmed slightly as the voting systems activated. Each seat glowed faintly, colors shifting as decisions were made. The woman stood still, her hands relaxed at her sides. The votes came in. Not unanimous. Divided. Tense. The leader studied the results. Earth will not be contained, it announced. A provisional alliance is approved. The hall erupted in mixed reactions. Relief. Fear. Anger. The woman closed her eyes briefly, then opened them. Thank you, she said. Not for trust, for choice. The leader stepped forward. Do not mistake this for weakness, it warned. If Earth becomes a threat, we will act. The woman met its gaze. As would we, she said. The alarms pulsed again, louder this time. The hall system spoke. Watcher signal entering outer monitored space. The council froze. The woman turned toward the exit. Humanity will prepare, she said. We will share what we know. But we will not wait. The leader watched her go.
You leave now? Yes, she replied.
Time matters. Several council members rose from their seats.
We will follow, some said.
Others hesitated. The woman paused at the threshold. This is where worth is proven, she said quietly. Not in halls of judgment, but in what we do next. She stepped out. Behind her, the council faced a truth it could no longer ignore. Earth was no longer a question. Earth was a choice, and the Watcher was coming. The human woman moved through the corridors of the council station, her steps quiet but purposeful. The walls around her hummed with energy, lights shifting as she passed. Every monitor showed data streaming from the outer systems. The Watcher signal approached faster than expected, confirming what she had already sensed. Outside the station, the stars seemed brighter, clearer, yet darker in the corners. The vastness of space held something unseen, something ancient, something testing humanity again. The woman stopped briefly at a viewing port. A reflection stared back from the glass, calm and determined. She did not flinch at the thought of what was coming. Humans never flinched, not completely. Even when hope seemed dim, even when despair pressed close, they endured. Back in the council hall, debates had quieted. Some members followed her example, preparing their worlds, sharing knowledge. Others still hesitated, unsure of what role they would play. The leader's voice rang through the hall, though empty now of control. "You have chosen your path, human," it said. "Remember, the Watcher is relentless." The woman nodded once, unseen. "We know," she said quietly, "and we will meet it, as always." Preparations moved quickly. Humanity activated hidden systems, long built-in secret, silent but ready. Ships left quietly for patrol. Communication networks extended, not for battle, but for observation. Sensors scanned the approaching threat, measuring, recording, predicting. Humans did not panic. They adapted. A council fleet moved cautiously alongside human vessels. They did not command. They observed. Some council members stayed back, uncertain if joining humans was wise. The woman boarded the lead ship, a modest vessel but strong, built for endurance rather than speed. Her crew, human and council allies, prepared in silence. Everyone felt the weight of the coming encounter, yet none trembled. Fear was natural. Survival required calm despite fear. The signal grew stronger, warping light around distant stars. The Watcher's presence was massive, indescribable. Ships trembled. Sensors went wild. Many council fleets turned away, unable to process the magnitude. The human woman gave orders in short, simple words. "Adjust shields. Maintain formation. Scan continuously. Repeat patterns." Humans understood that clarity mattered more than authority in moments like these. The Watcher emerged from the void, a shifting form that seemed alive and yet beyond life. Its energy pressed against the ships like gravity made of intent. Council members gasped. Some worlds would not have survived the encounter. Humanity had faced less, but always something. The woman watched, calm and alert. "We do not flee," she said. "We endure." The Watcher tested. It bent light, sending false images, illusions of destruction. It whispered through space in ways no ear could hear, in thoughts that no mind should hold. Many council members froze, unprepared. Their ships faltered. But humans adapted. They filtered the false signals. They moved as one, as many as they were, yet coordinated. They used loss as a guide, adjusting to what failed, reinforcing what worked. Slowly, methodically, they pressed forward. The Watcher pulsed, energy flaring like storms across the void. Ships were tossed, systems failing. Council fleets scattered. Humans kept formation, though small ships were lost. Their endurance became evident. The human woman directed the effort with quiet authority. Nothing flashy, nothing loud, just precise, steady guidance. Every order counted. Every life mattered. Every mistake was a lesson to correct. Time stretched. Hours, though, space measured differently. The Watcher tested everything, probing weaknesses, exposing vulnerabilities. Humans countered by moving unpredictably yet cohesively. They did not fight blindly. They endured with intent. Council members began to notice what humans had said was true. This was not about power or fleets. This was about persistence, endurance, the quiet refusal to vanish under pressure. Some fleets turned back, unable to keep pace. Some council members sent messages acknowledging that humans were not only surviving but teaching resilience in real time. The Watcher pulsed one final time, energy flaring across the void, the universe seeming to hold its breath. Then it receded, slowly, withdrawn, its intent unbroken, but its course diverted. Humanity had survived, not by strength alone, not by firepower, but by persistence, by adaptation, by refusing to disappear. The human woman lowered her head briefly. The crew around her exhaled collectively. Losses had occurred, ships lost, some crew gone, but the outcome was survival. The council fleets gathered once more, hesitant. They looked to the humans who had led the effort, who had endured the unimaginable, and some admitted, quietly, that their worth was proven. The stone-skinned leader spoke, voice low, almost in awe. Earth has demonstrated value beyond judgment, it said, not by might, not by conquest, but by enduring what no other species could. The woman stood tall. Humanity does not claim superiority, she said. We only claim survival. Some council members bowed slightly, not in submission, but in recognition. Others remained distant, unsure what to make of this species that refused to vanish. The Watcher's signal faded into the void, but its presence lingered. The galaxy had changed. Humans had changed the perception of worth. Persistence had become proof. Endurance had become power. The woman returned to the observation deck, staring into the stars. Humanity had survived another test. Many would come. Others had come and fallen. But humans did not vanish. They endured. And in that simple truth lay their strength. Behind her, the council began to discuss cooperation, sharing, and preparation, not out of control, not out of dominance, but out of respect. Earth had earned it, not with weapons, not with fleets, but with something older and quieter, humanity's persistence. The human woman smiled faintly, looking toward the horizon of stars. The Watcher may return. Others may come, but humanity would endure, always. And in that endurance, the galaxy had finally seen what worth truly meant.